Good evening. Welcome to Cardiff City World and welcome to the 1927 Club podcast. You were joined by myself, obviously, tonight, and obviously Mr. Rhys David Evans. Good evening, sir. How are we?
Absolutely buzzing from last night, but absolutely buzzing. 4 goals, what a game, what a performance.
Yeah, it was a great performance, but I still think there was a couple of gears perhaps we could have, and I don't want that to come across negative straight away, but I think we didn't really get out of second gear. I don't think there's plenty more to come, and I think Sai put in the titles of the show tonight. Is there more to come? And I definitely think there's bigger and better things still to come. And it was nice last night that we put Barnsley to the sword, and we managed to get 4 goals really.
Should have been 5 or 6. I mean, Robbo's chance at the end as well.
I was gutted he didn't get a goal. He must have been. We started off talking about that. Then obviously with the lineup, Kellyman played in that like false 9, or played as a striker. Then that must have been a difficult conversation for BBM to have with Robbo. Do you think?
We were talking this before the game when we Costco, and we said the same thing. Robbo must be gutted, but one of the boys messaged us at the game and said Robbo was a bit sore after Saturday's tackle on him, so he wasn't right to start the game. So I don't know how true that is. If it's a case, I can understand why maybe he's on the bench, but again, he came on, he wasn't pouted, and he's just unlucky not to score. I mean, some of his movement off the ball last night was brilliant as well.
And I think the crowd could sense that perhaps, obviously, he might have been a bit disappointed. Obviously, we didn't know last night that he'd had a bit of an injury, perhaps. But I thought, as soon as he went out to warm up, the Canton, they were all singing his name. And, he's loved there, isn't he? Let's be fair.
Yeah. I mean, let's be honest, so 2 goals against the Jacks. The equaliser against the Jacks last year as well, especially after the whole red card debacle against Cabango a couple of years ago. He scored some important goals for us last year, although we still went down. He was still important goals, and to be fair to him, he doesn't start much now. But when he comes on, he gives his all. You see when like some feet going off subs, he's the first player over to check him. When the youngsters go off, he's the first player up. Congratulate them, checking in on them, proper leader sort of stuff. So I was gutted he didn't get the goal last night.
And it was good. I don't know if you've seen Kellyman's after the match, his press conference after the match, but one of the questions was asked, have you been learning anything from Yusuf Salek and Robbo? And he said he's probably learned more from, Callum Robinson, which I just thought was brilliant and shows how professional he is. He's not playing as much as he probably like to, but he's still helping them youngsters coming through and obviously passing on words of wisdom, which is, helping, because I thought Kellyman did a decent enough job there for us last night, to be fair.
Yeah, that was fantastic again. He played the 9. I think we said before the game, didn't we? And we were saying that the likes of a number 9 sort of played against a slow back 4 or back 5, whatever it's going to be, might be more effective with balls in behind the defence to get runners on the end of things and stuff. And it proved to be the point. Like, I thought Kevin's Lincoln play was fantastic last night. I think sometimes he was dropping a little deep back. So I think he's more used to playing the 10 when he's centrally.
I think he's he's used to having the ball at his feet. Rather than, he's probably frustrated at times. He come looking for the ball, perhaps. But, I thought he had a decent performance, to be fair. Obviously, he had a goal and he had an assist as well. So, you can't fault that. Long may that continue. But, so 4-0, I think. I'm not sure if I predicted 4-0 before the game. I can't remember, but I'm taking that anyway. But, 4-0, ideal. Is obviously results up and around us as well. Obviously, Lincoln won. Bolton are starting to make a bit of a push as well now, aren't they? So it's important we keep. I think is that 10 games at home undefeated now.
I believe so. 10 games. That's right. Yeah, and again, it was. It's another game where they like to do the performance, like with the results, and again, it's Barnsley. I don't think they offered much today. That's the thing. Some of these teams are coming at us, and you think, they probably got Stockport to give a good account to themselves. I know with the anger for the instant stuff, but they got a good account to themselves. Burton have come to us, and we've dominated the game, and they've nicked a goal and beaten us. We look a bit more solid at the back now as well, and we look more switched on regarding the counter. And I think we look a bit more dangerous going forward, which was, brilliant, to be fair. A fair play to the Barnsley fans travelling all our way on a cold Tuesday night as well, mind.
Yeah, I did see a couple of podcasts where some of them were walking out after 70 minutes, but it's a long old trek on a Tuesday night, so fair play to them. I can't remember what I was going to say now, which is frustrating, but obviously I think we had the rub of the green last night, Reese, whereby, in past, probably most of the season really, we haven't had the decisions go in our favour. There was a couple last night. Alex Robertson potentially should have seen a second yellow card. That could have changed the game. Nathan Trott made a great diving save when I think it was still 1-0 at that point. So, if he hadn't saved that's potentially game-changing as well. I just thought last night we had the rub of the green, and I think, we earned the right to get that rub of the green last night.
I think, as I said last night, I think it's because of Saturday. I think the referees have been told, look, this was obviously something should have been done on Saturday. I think refs are conscious not to make a mistake last night, so then we couldn't accuse the referees then of having a card bias. So I think he was very cautious about sending someone off. He probably was told, look, we're going to sub him half-time. Just let him stay on to Len, and I think it was just that. I think the excuse he gave Conor Houlihan was that the ball was in their own half, and it was too far away for it to be a goal-scoring opportunity. Still, it's a what's the word? Cynical foul. It's a second yellow, and I think we got away with that. But again, we've said all season how bad the referees are. Even when we're winning games, we've seen how bad they are. So if Barnsley fans are upset with the referee, I can understand why. But I think it's about time we had a bit of luck from the refs. I think really with
it's one of them decisions. If it goes against you, you're absolutely fuming. But if you manage to get away with it, you're kind of sighing a bit of a sigh of relief type of thing. Yeah,
exactly. And again, we've had such awful decisions go against us. I think the ref might have been a bit overcautious last night about making a mistake or making a big talking point in the game, I think. And therefore, he let us get away with a bit more, I think he did. And again, did we need it? I mean, it's hard to say, but it didn't look like we got the second gear. So I don't think it made a difference, really.
I want to go back to the Alex Robertson yellow card and potentially, obviously, the red card, because it happened a couple of times now. I think he got pulled off. You'll have to forgive me. I can't remember the game, but he got pulled off after 28 minutes, I think, in either one game.
Yeah.
Is that something he needs to look at in his game, do you think?
Wickham away he was. It's funny because the Wickham tackle, it was a full-blooded challenge, right? And I see why you give the yellow card. Last night was a cynical one. There was no need to pull him back. I don't think they were hit us on a countdown. We had 3 players back, and there's only one lad with the ball running forward. I don't think there was need to pull him back. We were cleaned that up anyway. I just think it was a naive decision at SAN. I think he just thought an entry group. There was no need to do it so early in the game as well. There was absolutely no need for it so early in the game. It's happened a few times. I just think it's a case of. I wouldn't say it's a problem to worry about. I just think. I don't. It's not something we should worry about. I just think it's a bit naivety as all, and.
Because again, I do forget how young he is. Really, you'd think he's been here, there, and obviously he's come up to Man City ranks and had his loan and Pompey come to us, and he's still only 22 himself.
Yeah, and he hasn't played a lot of football. I think of it because he didn't play much of Pompey. I think he had 6 months because he had a massive injury, didn't he? So he was out for like 6 months, and then he came to us last year, and he was in and out of the squad then because of injuries and stuff. And then start of the season didn't really start for us. Took a few months for him to get into the run of games, so he's probably playing catch up as still like and. Again, 5th minute yellow card. He will learn from it. I think the others around him will help him through games. I don't think it was need to do it, but I can sort of understand why he did it. But
it's a difficult one with him as well because he's a type of player who plays on the edge, doesn't he? He don't mind going in for a challenge, and it's probably difficult to try and take that element of his game away from him. But Cardiff City fan in the chat said that potentially could have cost us last night. Obviously, it didn't. But I suppose it's something to look at, and like you said, hopefully he'll learn from that. I wouldn't imagine he would have been too impressed having to come off at half time, but I completely understand the reasons why.
And again, it's one of those where he can't have any gripes with anyone about it. He'll be you know himself, he let himself down, if anything. The reason he's come off is because of himself. Like, so he can't be one of those where he's knocking the manager's door asking why. So, again, he looks like a solid professional. I have no doubt he'll get his head down, get back in training, go again, kick on. I mean, I haven't got an issue with him. I do think it was a bit of a, like I said, a cynical foul. Didn't need to make it, but he'll learn things like that.
Yeah, definitely. I want to pull this one up because I was going to go on to talk a little bit about Nathan Trott. Obviously, didn't really have much to do last night. He had that one good save in the first half. The Cardiff City fan says, first quality save from Trott for a very long time, which is good on our defence. I think our defence is going from strength to strength now. I know, obviously, there was another change last night. Gabriel Osho went to the bench. Will Fish come in to partner Chambers. I think that's a lot of that's down to the work that and how strong our defence is at the moment.
Yes, it was a bit funny last night because I think I said to you, they've got clearly exciting wing and stuff, and their attacks when he was on the pitch came directly to the middle. All their counters, I think, came to the middle of the pitch, and I think we struggled. After we scored the first goal, they grew into the game for the next 30 odd, I say for 25 minutes they grew into the game. And a lot of the attacks came directly down the centre. And I think once we realised that, we just shut it out completely, and then they started going wide. And our defence just dealt with them. I mean, we said earlier, Matty Angel was outstanding right back, cleaned up everything. Big gun on left back, cleaned up it all. I mean, they had one or two chances last night, a good save from Trott. I think they had a header, which thankfully they messed it up. But other than that, I thought we looked solid. I don't think they really threatened other than that one chance, really. And it's a credit to Trott because we've seen how hard it must be for keepers to go through a full game, doing absolutely nothing all game, and then being forced into action. Do you mean after such a long period of inactivity? So full credit to him.
What's your opinion then of him with the ball at his feet? Do you sense that perhaps he's still got a little bit of nerves there, or do you think you've gone through that after that goal the other week? I
don't think he's nervous at all. I think he's confident. That's why he does it all. That's why he does it. I think he's full of confidence. And again, as fans, you hate to see it because if something goes wrong, we all look at each other and go, I can see that was coming. But when he gets rid of it, let's just say, just put your foot through it if we have to. Just put your foot through it. Let's just regroup and then get ourselves back in position and we go again. I do think sometimes they keep the ball a little too long, he does, but it's working, so we can't really complain.
You mentioned obviously about the early first goal. Perry NG, great finish, another great assist from Ollie Tanner. Really important last night. I felt that we got that early goal, within the first 3 minutes. Obviously took us a while then to get the second one, but you can't ask for a better start at home, can you?
Again, I think we've been at games and we I think we're gunners it, and Chambers scored a wonderful strike. The longer the game goes on where we haven't scored, I think the fans grow and moan a bit more. There's a bit, there's a bit more. I think the pressure builds a bit more. Like they need to get the goal, and I think getting the goal early last night just took the pressure off everyone. They relaxed a bit. I think we relaxed a little too much after we scored. Allowed Barnsley back into the game, and then towards the end of the first half, we stepped up again. Then we got the second, and after that, then I think it was just damage limitations of Barnsley in the second half, and again, they just made forced errors, and we just punished them for it.
How good have Ollie Tanner been since he's been back from injury?
I prefer his crossing, to be fair. I think some of the crosses we've seen so far this season is always the same thing, is slow, floating balls in, gives defenders time to get their head on it and challenge Saleh for the ball. Tanner sort of drills the ball in, and when you drill a ball in, anything can happen. A deflection, you get a chance, get a goal, get a set piece, which I thought was poor last night, by the way, the set pieces, by the way. Some of the corners, I think the first half, he couldn't beat the first man 4 or 5 times, I think it was. It was shocking. But yeah, since Tanner's come back on, I think it's a different kind of threat, isn't he, really? He looks to cut his side, or he doesn't mind beat his man. I think with that, you, as a defender, you don't know what to expect. When you see other players, you think, right, he's going to cut on his inside, he's going to try and bring the ball in. With him, he just makes up as he goes along. And I think that's good, he mixes up And
I think, what's he been back now? 4 or 5 games, maybe? He had just over 4 months out injured, I think. So, he's still getting back to match fitness. So I think there's still more to come from Ollie Tanner. I think we've said previously that, he's come back from this injury. a lot fitter than what he did the last time he got injured. And I just think his mentality has switched as well. Like the tracking back now and helping to defend. And he lost the ball down near your end of the ground yesterday, Canton. And he tracked back and he stuck a leg out to win the ball back. So I think he's added that to his game as well.
I think what helps as well, mind, is last season when he's looking back, right, you had Cian Ashford, Tanner, El Ghazi, and Willock. And Willock would always start on the left. And let's be honest, Tanner would always start on the right-hand side. No matter what, he was always in starting last season, to be fair. This year, you got Cian Ashford putting performances in. Isaac Davis is putting performances in. Willock was putting performances in. So there's competition for places. So they can't even... There's no complacency allowed, because they know if they drop their standards just a little bit, there's someone right behind them ready to take their spot.
And, it's great to see the strength and depth that we've got coming off the bench. I was thinking yesterday, Tanner's going to go off now. Potentially Willock, I thought, might have gone off. But to bring the likes of Cian Ashford and Isaac Davis on, to replace them is, Barnsley must have been having bloody nightmares, man. It was cruel, but up your guts, we're top of the league. So, sorry, but there we go. Ryan Wintle, I think I put a message in one of the groups last night saying how important he is. He's that man in the middle who's kind of holding everything together for me at the moment. And I think his partnership, again, I think we mentioned this on Saturday with Robertson, is getting better and better every game for me.
Yeah, he cleaned up so well last night, didn't he? He looks like he's playing like the six, the pivot in front of the back four, and the amount of times they try and break it through with the middle, especially the second half, and he just stuck a foot in, won the ball back. Clean pass to the defence, reset, go well again. He was outstanding again, and it's the hard work. And I fear an injury to him would be bigger to us than an injury to. I don't say a Saleh, because Saleh's a massive player. But if Saleh's injured, you've got other players you look at and go, he can play there, we can play this, and this. Wintler's such a pivotal role for us. I do worry about losing him. So this season, he's been outstanding for me.
There's a question for you then, and obviously the people in the chat who were tuned in. So obviously with Saleh missing last night, was you worried when you seen the lineup come out and Kellyman was up front, or did you think obviously we'd adapt and play a different type of football? Was there any concerns there from you last night, or was you worried at all?
Well, we were in Costco together and we seen the lineup. We both said we were a bit worried there's no striker on there. But we did say, didn't we, that it'll probably be a different way of playing. It won't be lumping it up just like a Saleh to win the ball, win flick-ons, bring us into play. It'll be a number 9 trying to get off the shoulder of the defender, balls in behind, balls into space. And I think last night we've seen some of the passing we tried doing, trying to feed it through the defence, try and get in behind the defenders. So I think we changed it up last night. And I think Barnsley would have probably watched us this last few games and gone, they'll have a target man. We'll chuck 3 big lads at the back, just bully him out. And when we played Kellerman, all of a sudden that game plan went the window, because the back line was all over the place. They tried man marking Kellerman, and he would just drift away. And all of a sudden, Joel in the 10 would pick up space next to him, or the ball would go wide. And I just don't think they knew how to handle it.
Young Joel Colwell, how do you find he's settling into the team now? I think that was his second start. Was it? He started the weekend as well, didn't he? And obviously, he's been on the sidelines a little bit, but what's your opinions on Joel? How's he doing at the moment?
His defensive work last night was brilliant for me. I think he was pressing so well. His energy was just closing down, getting stuck in. I don't say slopping the ball. I think once or twice he turned into trouble a few times. But again, he's playing in a 10 last night, where he's normally playing an 8. So I can understand why, the defender's right next to you. I don't know, so I understand, he wasn't aware maybe. But I thought he was brilliant again. His energy is just... When you've got that as an opposition defender, and you see the 10 is closing down, the striker's closing down. If you give the ball to either full-back, you've got the winger closing down. It's panic time. And you see last night they lumped it a few times up the pitch just to get rid of it. That was thanks to his press, that was.
Another question I wanted to put to you, and obviously the guys in the chat as well. Obviously, Will Fish come into the starting lineup last night, and we've talked many times about his diagonal balls, but he done it a few times last night, didn't he? And I think that just gives us another dimension when you got somebody comfortable on the ball at the back like that, who can ping them 40, 50 yard passes. Just adds another dimension to our game for me.
Yeah, he's Lawler's done it a few times as well, and both of them they're more of a modern centre half. They can play the ball. I think Lawler's more of a ball carrying centre half, but then you're looking at Fish. He's just pinging balls. We'll take it. I don't know. We'll get the ball right hand side, and we'll free up Willock on the left, and it'll just be a lovely dag ball into space, and it's exactly where he wanted as well, right on his feet. Some of the passing is fantastic. Again, if he's had this in his locker room all this time, you wonder where it's been till now, because this is fantastic stuff,
Yeah, and again, he's 22 years of age. Is mad, really. I did work out the average age last night of the starting 11. Do you want to have a guess of what it worked out as?
Starting 11, about 22 years old, maybe.
24.90, so 25 then. So obviously we had a couple of old heads in here yesterday with Callum Chambers was the oldest, the grandfather of the group at 31, but obviously he topped that up a little bit, shall we say. Moving on then, we'll talk about Chrissy Willock. Obviously he had 2 goals last night and assist as well. What was your performance? I think he's been a little bit inconsistent for me, but again, I think he played well last night.
To be fair, last night the game was set up perfectly for him last night. They played on paper. I'd say it was a 3-4-3 last night, and then wing backs which were further forward, which meant there was a lot of space in behind them. And I think both wings exploit that space so effectively. I mean, his reading where the ball was going to be was fantastic. 2 goals, 1 assist. Took his second goal lovely to be chipped over the keeper, just a deft little touch over the keeper. He ran him ragged, to be fair to him. He absolutely ran him ragged, and again, a bit lucky not to get a hat-trick, I think, last night. I thought he was fantastic. But again, last night, they were set up perfect for our wide players. I thought they just left so much space in behind their wing backs. It was begging to be attacked. And again, he was fantastic. Like you said, he's been inconsistent since coming back from injury. But last night, if that's the standard he sets himself, I want to see that every week now.
Yeah, no, I agree. Obviously, I think it worked out in the end last night. We had 64% possession. I think we probably didn't have that first half. I think obviously overall with the 2 halves together, because I think Barnsley come and they tried to play football. They frustrated us first half, didn't they? A lot of teams have come in and parked. I think there was a comment in the chat, and we will come to the questions in the chat, guys, and work through them in a second. Were Barnsley the worst team that we've seen there? And I don't think they were, to be honest. I know we beat them 4-0, but they came and I know we had the early goal, but they didn't sit back then and trying to park the bus type of thing. They still tried to have a goal. It wasn't very successful, don't get me wrong. But you look at the Wigan game, and right from the first minute, right from kickoff, everybody was behind the ball. And so if somebody asked me the worst team we've seen this year, it'd probably be Wigan for me. I don't know what your thoughts are.
Yeah, I think Wigan were the worst team I've seen. Yeah, I'd say that, yeah. They offered nothing, did they, when we played them? They were more than happy to just lump the ball up to our defence, let us recycle it and go again. They thought they were dreadful. But Barnsley, I thought, we allowed them into the game last night. I think after we scored in the second minute, I don't want to say we took a foot off the gas, but we sort of allowed them to get the game. I don't know if it's complacency or what. We allowed them to get a foothold on the game. I think for 25, maybe 30 minutes, they got all the ball, and they were playing some lovely stuff, to be fair to them. They found a lot of space in the middle. But then as the game wore on the first half, we grew back into it. We woke up a bit, then we got the second. The second half, and I think it was just all Cardiff. I don't think they looked like scoring. We were finding space far too easy. We were on the ball a lot more. And we were recycling as well. As soon as they won the ball, we were winning back. We had close them down in packs, winning the ball back, going again. I thought second half we were just outstanding.
Yeah, I thought that hunger to get the ball back last night was outstanding. Like you said, if we lost the ball, they best have got to get that ball back. I thought the passing at times, especially first half, weren't probably... There was a couple of loose ones, shall we say, but I looked at the stats earlier, and I think we had like 521 accurate passes compared to Barnsley's 250, I think it was. So yeah, completely dominated, really. But Yeah, it was an interesting stat, I thought. I think we had 15 shots. I think 7 of them, or 6 of them were on target. I think Barnsley had 7 and 4 were on target. So it was, it was a good day. It was a good day. Right, let's jump into the comments and have a little look who's in here. Cardiff City fan, good evening. I know I've mentioned a couple of comments you've put already, but thanks again for tuning in. Do you think Robbo may leave? Seems like Saleh and Kellyman are the preferred strikers. So I think obviously Reece touched upon that. That obviously Robbo might have been carrying a knock from the weekend, which kind of puts to bed then why he didn't start last night. So I can't see him going back. What's your thoughts?
I don't think he'll go. I think he'll definitely stay to the end of the season. It depends. It's one of those, obviously, isn't it? I mean, he might be in BBM's plans right now, but come the summer, you don't know who becomes available. All of a sudden, a striker who's 24 years old might come available, who's like for like with Robbo, younger, more potential, and you're thinking, if I can move him on, I can bring this player in on less wage. You never know with football. I like to see him stay. I think he's done, when he's been called upon, he's done a job for us. It was not pouted, throwing his toys at the pram. I think he's done really well. Unlucky not to score 2 last night, to be fair. But again, you just don't know what happens in the summer. I mean, someone could come available, and there might just be a better choice, a better option for us to have. At that point, then you unfortunately have to part ways, or someone might come in with an offer that we can't turn down.
Yeah, he's been a legend for us, so you can't. You just want what's best for him, I suppose, don't you? At the end of the day. Yeah. Fair play to Barnsley players at the end of the game and their fans, in contrast to Stockport. 9 more wins to get in February, March and April sees us getting promoted by my maths. It's not far off, but I don't think he's in. Another 27 points, I think I'll take us up to what we're on now, 59, take us up to 86.
Disappointing, isn't it? We both had to go into the league by December, I think, didn't we, in the prediction, I think. So it's a bit late. I'd love us to get 100 points. I would love us to reach 100. I think that'll be a massive statement. But I just think we take it game by game. We've got to take it game by game. Keep winning.
I think it's potentially there, mate, I think. We've got 18 games left, 54 points obviously available, and we're on 59. So, potentially we could get 113. So, but one game at a time now, I think,
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, there's no easy games this league, let's be honest. I mean, we've seen it now where teams are beating each other, bottom's beating top, stuff like that. So, well, not bottom beating top. But you know what I mean? This league's all over the place. So take game by game, keep winning, keep the players fit, fresh, keep your players' feet to the ground, take the players out of it. And then, who knows? And come the end of March, you might be looking at early league title, early promotion guaranteed. So I'm buzzing for that. I can't wait for that pitch invasion.
I think you mentioned earlier, how close that league was, and obviously I've seen a lot of the Barnsley fans not happy with, which I get that after, obviously losing 4-0 last night. But did you say they got something like 4 or 5 games in hand on some teams? 5
games in hand, I think it was, over Huddersfield, who were in the last playoff spot. And I think if you can win one of their games, mine it'll be against us, away for us anyway. But he's just thinking, he wins some of them games, all of a sudden he's back with a shout. But their manager's a strange one, isn't he, Conor Hoolahan? I mean, I seen his interviews after the Liverpool game, and he was moaning about the fact they scored against Liverpool, saying it was disrespectful.
Yeah.
The way they live. I was thinking, you've got a goal at Anfield, mate. It doesn't matter how it's coming, you've got a goal. Why are you so... He seems an odd fellow.
Is that a surprise to you, though, given...
It's time of Swansea.
Yeah.
No, not really. Eating dead rats there, messing the brain, I heard.
Yes, he's... it doesn't surprise me at all. Cardiff City fans said about what do you say, Barnsley are the worst side we've played this season. No, like I said, I'd go Wigan. Yeah, Graham's in the chat as well. He says Wigan.
Same. I was disappointed with Wigan this year. I've never seen a team look to try. They time wasted as well after 1-0 down. They were time wasting in the first half. I've never seen anything like it. It was a strange experience being a home fan, watching a team set up to looking happy to accept a 1-0 defeat. I've never seen a game like it in my life. It's an odd thing, like. It was no counter-attacking football from either. It was such a strange performance.
Cardiff City fan says, gutted about Tanner missing that chance. He was great as well. Needs that goal for him to get more. Yeah, it was how he didn't score it, I don't know. But given what he's done over the last couple of games, we kind of forgive him. But it would have been nice for him to have grabbed a goal last night.
Yeah, him and Rob was gutted for. And we said before, if we're a bit more clinical, we could have won that 5 or 6 last night.
Yeah, 100%. Cardiff City fan says, for me, Davis is better than Willock. I don't know if that's an unpopular opinion because Willock was great, but he's too inconsistent for me. What's your thoughts on that?
I can understand where he's coming from regarding Willock's inconsistency. I wasn't his biggest fan last year. I was very critical of him. I thought last season he was a bit too poor and it was far too easy to read in games. You knew exactly what he was going to do. I think this year he has changed it a bit, and I think the style of play does suit him a lot more. I think with Isaac, though, it's the pace he can run at players. He runs at full-backs, he gets behind them. I think that pace makes him a different kind of player. I don't know, I wouldn't say who's better. I wouldn't want to say that. I think it'd be disrespectful to the other one. But I think they're both different players and both impact the game different ways. I think it depends who you're playing against. We'll see a better performance. Like last night, there was a lot of space in behind the wing-backs. That was just there for Willock to exploit. I mean, Isaac could have done it on the right-hand side. I could have torn him apart. But he went with Tan on the right-hand side instead, and it worked, so...
Jonathan says, I wasn't worried about the lineup. BBM has thrown a few surprises in, and they usually work out. And he was happy. And you can't disagree with that, can you, really? You know,
go on.
I was just going to say, like, he has really. He's come up with... You've seen some of the lineup sometimes, you think, oh, that's a bit... don't quite understand why he's done that, but it's working.
I think that's a surprise. Next Saturday's lineup, Horvath's in goals.
For New York now, we're all right, but he's across the pond now.
I can't believe that. Fair play. Hopefully America closes the borders off once he goes back there. And that's it then. But yeah, I think the style of play, we said last night doing cost score, we can understand why he's gone for the lineup he's gone for. Simply because of the way Barnsley set up defensively. I think they have wing backs which play a bit further forward, leaving a lot of space. They've got 3 big lumpers at centre half and not pacey. So if you get like a number 9 in, balls in behind the defence, play off the shoulder, balls in over the top, you get runners on the end of things, you could really cause damage. And I think I understand that last night. So
going back to something you mentioned earlier about that Reyes Cleary, I was quite concerned, really. I watched the Barnsley-Liverpool game and I thought he was excellent. But I don't know whether Perry NG obviously watched that game as well and thought, he's not having one up on me here, because I thought he was all over him like a cheap suit. We didn't give him an inch. And yeah, 31 minutes, I think he went off. And I was expecting more from him, and I was expecting him to, pose a bit more danger. But I thought, Perry NG still got him in his arse pocket, I think.
I think it was a strange one because he's probably the most attacking player last night from the lineup, looking at it, really. And again, they didn't really use him today. They didn't really utilise him. Everything came through the middle for them. They looked to attack the middle. They looked to build the play with the middle. Only once or twice the ball went wide to him. And as soon as it did, Perry was on him. And, he was all over him. And I don't know if he just thought, look, I can't do this tonight. This is too... He's got the best of me, and went off. I don't know if it was just precaution or what. But Perry had him in his back pocket. And I was surprised he didn't really utilise him more. When they did utilise him, he couldn't get nothing.
And I'm loving seeing Perry NG enjoying his football again. Obviously, he went through that bit of a bad spell, didn't he? Perhaps when his head was maybe getting turned by potentially moving on and wasn't happy with who was ever in charge. But you look now, and the way he's playing, the way he speaks after games in press conferences and things. He's really enjoying his football again. Yeah,
this is the Perry of old for me again. Now this is the Perry that won right back in Team of the Year a couple of seasons ago. This is the Perry that was Player of the Year 2 years in a row, I think it was. Or his read of the game was better. the issues he used to have, I think, last season was a problem he had quite often was he would push forward into midfield like an inverted fullback. Balls would come in over the top above him, and then the pace would just be exploited behind him, and he couldn't get back to it. This year, I think his reading of the game, his position awareness is outstanding. I just think he's bullying these young wingers, and again, I'm hoping he gets a new deal now. I will say this: I'm hoping he gets a new contract extension, another year maybe in the Championship. See what he does.
Yeah, 100%. Cardiff City fan. This is an interesting one. What's our best centre-back partnership? Still Lola and Fish for me. Best full centre-backs we've had for a long time.
Same. For me, my partnership is going to be Lola and Fish. I think they complement each other so well. I mean,
is Dylan Lola going through the same type of thing? He seems to be picking up lots of niggles at the moment. And if you remember going back a couple of years, it was Ruben Caldwell went through something similar, and they keep coming up. He's got growing pains, or his injuries are due to his body developing and things. Do you think a lot of that is similar, perhaps, with Dylan? I don't know the ins and outs of his. Was it a medial ligament damage? I think he picked up in the warm up Saturday. I think, wasn't it?
I hope it's just a case of bad luck, and it's nothing to do with his body. He's been very unlucky with injuries, and it does seem to be a case of he'll play a game and he's struggling with something. So you are hoping it's just a case of growing maybe, and he's start next year he'll be back to normal, be fully fit all the time. But like I said just now, my partnership will be him and Fish. But an honourable shout out to Chambers, who's a different person this year compared to last season. Like I feel if I see him in the lineup now, I'm comfortable with it. I'm confident he'll put a performance in. He'll marshal our back four really well. Last season, you're looking at thinking there's a mistake that can be here now, and again, with 10 minutes, it'll be a mistake. This year, he's cut that out, to be fair to him. An honourable mention to that, I think, has been fantastic. And offshore, although he's probably my fourth choice at the back, that's nothing against him personally. I just think we've seen it more consistently from the ones in front of him. But again, what another option to have if needed. There's four solid centre halves there.
Yeah, I thought Chambers looked good last night. He'd run the ball out of defence. He's quite happy taking that ball 20, 30 yards up the field. And again, just echo what you said. I think he's he's upped his game massively, haven't he, in fairness?
Yeah.
So credit to him. Alan Watkins, good evening, my friend. I think that our winning the ball back so quickly has been so impressive. So our pressing is our pressing top class.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's last season. How many times do we say, "Where's the press gone?" We cried out the games. We allowed Barry Barnum last season. We allowed him to run 40 yards unchallenged, 3 or 4 times against us. I mean, now if someone gets the ball within seconds, one of the players, it looks like a zonal thing. One of the players is on them straight away, and then we hunted the ball in packs. I mean, it's so refreshing to see.
I'm not sure what this one's about, but has anyone seen the Newcastle fan podcast or video when he went and he interviewed Ruben and introduced him as a defender? Can't say that I've seen that.
Should have called a Newcastle fan, said a Markham or something.
I wish Caldwell had said something. I haven't seen that, so I'll have to have a little look for that. Jonathan says, I think Chambers and Fish spent more time in the Barnsley half than they did in ours. Jonathan goes back to then the Ruben interview. Just seemed to have an awkward smile and carried on without correcting it.
So he needs to, I think he needs to be a bit more captain like that and just, defender, mate. Come on, I'll rip your team apart, son. And we're going to walk off.
Yeah. Willock played fantastic, I think, says Chris. Needs more consistency every week. His brother scored for Newcastle tonight. Hat-trick for the family. Can't argue with that. Raphael. First game we've had in ages that wasn't anxiety-inducing until the final whistle.
Yeah, I agree with that.
100%, innit? And it was nice last night that we could kind of relax and I was probably being a bit greedy because I was sat there thinking, we're coasting with 10 minutes to go. Push for the fifth. Get do you know what I mean? But I suppose that's being a bit greedy, innit?
We said last night, I think I want us to get the 5th, not because, again, the goal difference is massive, right? And winning 5-6 is great. But I just thought if one or two other players had got a goal last night, personal confidence levels would have gone up a step. I mean, if Rob got a goal, that done him the world good. If Tanner got a goal, the world of good. I'm just thinking if one of them gets a goal, Turnbull gets a goal, or Joe can nick a goal next weekend, their confidence levels are going to go up a level. I'm just hoping for their sake, one or two of them might nick a goal as well. Like,
yeah. Garen Cole says 11 more wins should see us up. That'll take us to 92 points, I believe.
Just counting down the wins now, innit? Let's be honest.
Yeah. Jonathan says Wigan, Burton and Rotherham were worse than Barnsley. Bonkers that we lost to Burton. 80% possession. They had one chance, took it. Job done.
Crazy game, innit?
Robbed them. I reckon we'll batter them 4 or 5 on the weekend.
We got to punch the sword to make a statement. This is what happens if you try to do against us now. Like, we've got to absolutely smash them, I hope. And it's a good chance as well. I mean, it's a good chance for us to pick up some more points. I think other team on paper, we look at that game going, it should be 3 points to Cardiff on paper. I know it doesn't always work out like that, but it's a good opportunity for us to keep pressure on the chasing pack, because they're going to be looking at us going, like, Cardiff have won again now. We've got to win again now. We've got to try and pick up a win again. And it's going to add pressure to them. Well, for us, it's more a case of just keep going, just keep the levels we're at now, keep it going, and we'll pick up another win after win after win.
And it's nice that, I don't know if you've listened to the Barnsley manager speaking after the game, but again, it's nice to hear other managers saying, Cardiff are by far the best team in the league, this, that, and the other. No doubt they'll be in the Championship next year. We haven't had that for such a long time, have we, over the last few years. It's nice now that, we're getting that type of recognition, and, the brand of football we're playing is exciting, and other teams are recognising that as well. Yeah,
it's nice to hear the manager say we play with the best team in the league and stuff. What does my head is when the manager say, with their budget, they are where they are because they budget and things. I think we lost 17 players in the summer. I think Alnwick went in January. Horvath set to go now. I mean, we could have losing 20 players this season altogether. And a lot of first-team players there. And there's no respect then for the fact we brought through so many academy players, so many youngsters have come through. It just seems a case of the budget's there. Just because you've got a good budget doesn't mean you've got a good squad. Like, we've seen that with other teams. We were, was it 4th highest spenders or 7th highest spenders in the league in Championship last year? Finished bottom. No, good budget doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, no, spot on. Somebody mentioned about the Liverpool under-21 player that we've been linked with. Apparently scored against us. He was on loan at Millwall last year. I believe this is his name, Callum Scanlon. Am I right in saying that? Is that his name?
Yeah, I was there at the Den last year when he scored past us. He had a great game, to be fair to him. Thankfully, we came back and drew 2-2. I think it was Salek's first goal for us. It was like 94th minute. But he had a solid game for us. And it's good option. It's probably good cover really for Bagan. He probably knows he's not going to start most weeks. But there's a chance there for him to put pressure on Bagan to stake a claim as well. And if needed, Bagan can have a rest in certain games.
Do you think that'll potentially be a stumbling block for him coming, knowing that he might going to play second fiddle? Do you think somebody stepping down from Liverpool under-21s, I suppose it all depends. I think there's other clubs in for him as well. I suppose it all depends, what Liverpool kind of demand, because you hear things that, we let him, we loan him out to you, but he's got to play X amount of games, this, that, and the other.
I'd say don't look past the fact we chase a promotion, because a promotion on a player's CV looks a lot better than an extra 10 games in the Championship at a mid-table team, I'd say. It won't be sold to him that you're not going to play, you're going to be on the bench. It's going to be sold to him as we've got to start the left back. It's up to you to show us why you should be starting ahead of him. It's up for you to make us ask the question, who we pick in. So if you come here and you put you work your bollocks off in training, stake your claim in the side, then it's up to you. But if you come here thinking you're going to start every week, then don't. I mean, I think the club will explain that to him in a more professional way. So I think it's a more exciting proposition than, say, a mid-table Championship team will have to play for. Extra 10 games you might get there, or 15 games you might get there, or a promotion is built in League One. I think promotion looks better on the CV. Like,
Perry, NG, Wintle, and Bagan are our most consistent players right now. Yeah, spot on. I'd 100% agree with that. All out of contract in the summer, I believe. I think those three.
Yes, but I believe they've all been spoken to. If I remember correctly.
No hesitation renewing every single one of them?
Oh, lots of hesitation. No, absolutely nothing. Again, I think I think modern football, we've been lucky because, say 15 years ago, right? I wouldn't be surprised if Rangers or Celtic were looking at one of them and going, if we can sign him up now in January because he's got 6 months left on his contract. I think the financial power of the Scottish League has gone downhill. So the fact that League One clubs can now bid and pay the Scottish team clubs, so we haven't got to rush the contract negotiations. So we can take our time with these now and not be forced into a corner with it. So I won't be surprised if next month or two we start seeing the news. Cardiff have happy to announce Perry signed a 1-year extension, Joel has signed a 2-year extension, Ryan has signed a 2-year extension. So I won't be too stressed about that yet.
Apparently, Horvath still not officially confirmed by New York Red Bulls. Probably dropped his passport getting off a plane or something. Can't go through security.
He's on the wrong plane. But I believe BBM said he's out in America now, he is.
Yeah.
To finalise the deal there. And again, it's one of those where it didn't work out. I've made comments about it, I made jokes about it, but thank you for everything you've tried to do. It didn't work out. All the best. Go on and have a good career somewhere else.
Graham says, do you think the World Cup will be moved from the USA with a lot of the countries on the visa ban list?
Absolutely not. If you give the right brown envelope to the right person, the bald guy, Infantino, then all of a sudden, right, he's going to get whatever he wants. If Qatar could have it, Saudi Arabia got to have it. If you're going to give it to them who cut up journalists, why would you take it from a country that is kicking out or banning people from Corona? It's not going to happen.
No. Cardiff City fan is an interesting one. All I think about is how O'Dowda would be in this team.
Yeah, it's a tough one there. I think BBM would have seen him more as a winger, if I'm honest, than a full-back. I think if BBM is looking at him now, I think he's saying, you're my winger, you're not my left-back. But I do think he'd have a one time on his side. But then if he did, would that mean the likes of Kellerman wouldn't come here? Would have meant Isaac Davis would have been moved on? Or Keane would have gone because it would have been another player in that position?
Yeah. Jonathan says, Alex, the 4th most fouled in the league. I wondered how many fouls you would have received if all the fouls were actually given. Jonathan, he's probably got the most fouls committed. Every time he gets fouled, it's given the other way. Cardiff City fan says, Osho's a favour. Don't know how long Lola will be out for. 2 to 3 weeks, I believe. And Paul says the same here. I think the gaffer said that in his press conference last night. John Sinclair TV is the podcast. Is that the one about the Newcastle thing, is it? I'm not sure.
I'll look now.
One of the players, I think it was, NG said we owe them one when they asked about Burton after the Barnsley game. Yeah, he did. JT, good evening, buddy. It makes me laugh when fans and opposition fans think BBM has been backed.
Yeah, again, we really haven't backed him anyone. I think Osho was a permanent sign-in. Trott's a loan. Trott is one I would like to have seen us get done in January early, if I'm honest to.
But we don't know what the circumstances are behind that loan and obligation to buy. Is he not? Are they not allowed to do it until a certain date? You don't know, do you?
I don't know. It's just one of those where you like to think of these conversations have already happened, if I'm honest to. And it's one of those where, say we get promoted now, say we guarantee promotion come April, you like to think that the negotiations with Copenhagen begin straight away. The deal is getting done before the season's even over that point. I think he's by far the best keeper we've seen in years. It's got to be done. I'd hate to lose him. I really would. And I think other clubs are going to be looking at him now this summer.
And, like, I'm not disappointed, and I don't think, BBM has openly said that he's happy with the individuals he's got. He's brought a couple of loans in. He's put trust in the youth and the talent that we had within the academy, and he's backed them. And at the moment, it's paying off. So I think for where we are at the moment, I think I've got no issues really. I think obviously getting promoted back to the Championship next year, we'd probably have to strengthen again. That'll be another podcast for us closer to the end of the season. But yeah, I think I wouldn't agree with Jonathan there and say that he hasn't been backed. I think, we've had a few players in on loan. It's always difficult, I suppose, when, you get relegated. Is he going to, spend millions and win, still going to be in League One come this time next season? It's a difficult one, isn't it?
Yeah, we have spoken to players. I know we've missed out on one or two. Again, it's just a case of it's one of those where if he was fully backed, again, he might have said, I want these players in, and the club said no, we don't know. But he might have brought in, say, 7 or 8 players in the summer if he could, and we might be mid-table right now. 20 new players coming in, they might have just come a point where the youngsters didn't get game time, but it's worked out to his benefits. You can't really criticise it while it's working. If we were struggling, say, mid-table or after the playoffs, then we'd all be up in arms about the lack of backing. I think the big test will be in the summer. When we're promoted now, how we go about recruiting. That's when I think we'll see it then, really.
Yeah, 100%. But I just love the fact that he's put his trust in the youngsters. He's obviously doing work behind the scenes on improving them, and at the moment is paying dividends really. Chris says, enjoyed seeing Perry with that little grin on his face when he knows he's worrying defenders and wingers coming forward. It's nice to see. Yeah, he's a great bloke, in fairness, and it's nice to, like I said, it's nice to see him back with a smile on his face on and off the field as well. So happy days. Jonathan says, now they say we were always going to go up with our squad no matter who our manager was.
I mean, we all know that's not the case because we're all looking at Luton with the parachute payments. I'm saying the same thing about them. We're looking at Plymouth who came down, saying the same thing about them. I mean, Bolton fans probably say the same thing when they first came down. So did Huddersfield fans, so did Charlton fans. Now they're in the Championship now. But how many years are they in this league for? I mean, every club looks at a team that gets promoted and goes, they should have got promoted. It's a lot easier said than done, though. And I think to do it in the manner and style of we doing it, we could have gone up playing the Neil Warnock way, right? And it would have been a case of we won 1-0, enjoy promotion. We got up now, winning 4-0 and stuff, 4-3, 4-3. I'm enjoying all the games, and that'll mean promotion's even more sweeter to me now because I've enjoyed every match individually as well.
Yeah. Here's a nice question, Furies. Who was better, Runnison or Hobart? I'd rather play. I'd rather play without the goalie. I think
I'd rather put Perry and G back goals.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, both look like they had cemented issues. Like the ball. I mean, one of the times the ball went either side of Horvath and he just stood there, didn't move for it, or he parried it into danger. It was not my cup of tea. Sorry.
Yeah. No idea on that player. I'm afraid. Sorry, that's news to me. Thank you for posting it, though. If anybody else knows anything about that, check it in the chat. Totally agree. Trot needs to be done. Yeah, 100%. He's been a rock for us, hasn't he? In fairness to him. How we've still got Kellyman in this league is unbelievable. Thought Chelsea would have had him go to the Championship. I think we'll go to the Championship, but he'll go with us next year. I got a funny feeling we'll have him back on loan again next year. He's a young man at 20. Is Rossignol going to want him in and around that environment? Is he going to learn more playing regular football in the Championship? I don't know. But
the trick with Rossignol is, right, you just got to speak his language. And when you talk to him, just say, manage is 2 words. It's man and age. And with aging men into Cardiff, yeah. let us age this man, like, and that'll work. It depends, because you could win this summer now, and all of a sudden, a new duo opens, a new group of players come available to you, and you might go, we can sign 1, 2, or 3 by there, and then there's no space for a Kellyman, no offence, but you just don't know what's available in the summer, and I think you've got to plan accordingly. At the time, I'd love to keep him at Cardiff. I think he's a fantastic player, absolutely fantastic, but we just don't know what becomes available in the summer.
Yeah. And Jonathan goes on to say, Kellyman has looked good to us, but hasn't set the world alight in stats. So championship clubs probably haven't looked at him for that reason. There's a lot of players that have looked better.
On the flip of that, though, I think if you look at the teams we play in the League One, a lot of teams are sitting back. There's not a lot of space in the forward positions. It's harder for him to exploit. I think you go to the championship, I think teams attack more. There's more space in to operate in, and he probably does look a lot more complete number 10 than he does. He looks a lot better player. So I think in the championship, he's a different beast altogether, I think he is.
A couple of questions here now related to the championship. Good question here from Chris, and I'm pretty sure we answered it on either Saturday or a week ago. Hard one to answer, but if we were in the championship now with this side, where would we be? I think we kind of both agreed we'd be around mid-table, didn't we, I think? Yeah.
I think, like I said, League One teams are sitting back from us, not really playing in as much space. You take the Chelsea game, for example, a team, and Wrexham, and Burnley for that in the Cup. These teams allow a lot of space on the pitch because they try to attack a bit more. And we exploited that space so well. And the way we played, I think, with that space, the way we play, we will damage teams. I think we will concede a few more chances and maybe 1 or 2 more goals because teams will be more clinical and punish us. But I fully expect us to have a bit more freedom with the ball, a bit more space, a bit more time, and we will punish teams in the championship. Right now, I think we'll be mid-table.
Yeah, I can't argue with that. Going back to the Runnison and Hovarth. NG in goal if needed. Don't want to see Hovarth or Runnison anywhere near our goal. Again, can't argue with that.
I don't want to see no offense. I don't want to see neither of the Cardiff shoot again. I want to erase that. I want to erase that from my memory, if I'm honest.
Yes, I'll have to agree with you there. Right, we'll be wrapping up in the next minute or so. Thanks everybody tonight for tuning in and engaging by putting comments in the chat. If there's anybody tuned in tonight and you're not a member, you would like to become a member, you can scan the QR code in the top corner, or you can go onto YouTube, follow the information on Cardiff City World's YouTube channel. For the price of a cup of coffee a month, you can help support the channel. Every membership helps, keeps the lights on, so to speak, and it allows Si and the guys to keep, putting out content 7 days a week for you guys. Cardiff City fans just said, will you stay for an extra hour? But not tonight, but me and Reese will be back on Saturday night, I believe.
Don't forget as well, if you do become a member, you get early access to live events, which we got one coming up, I believe, was it March 13th,
I believe.
Is the first one of this year, live event.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one as well. They're all good. All the ones we've, Si have put together so far have been, they're really good evenings in fairness. And I think when this one's announced, I think the Craig Bellamy went within 24 hours. I think a couple of others went early doors, but yeah, this one is going to go fairly quick as well, without shadow of a doubt. But
if you don't know about them, the live events are with former players. They're not with just us at the table talking. They're like ex-players. So we've had Sean Morrison, Kavanagh, Darren Purse has done one, Michael Chopper's done one, Glenn Louvers, Joe Ledley, Craig Bellamy's done one. Willie Boland, there's some big names have done them. And again, I think, like you said, this one will sell out pretty quick.
Paul said, Reese, who would you rather interview, Hovarth or Runnison? I tell you what would be good, though, is that obviously because we've been so successful so far this season, touch wood, we haven't really had a Reese rant much this season, have we? We used to have them on a regular basis last season. So I think we do to have a Reese rant episode, really.
To be fair, my last season was calling for some of the performances last season was embarrassing and I think every week I was kicking off about something. But I said at the start of the season, I said no matter what happens this season, I won't be, ranting on the episodes because there's so many youngsters playing. And the last thing I want to do is put, add pressure to the youngsters. If they make a mistake, I really don't care. I'll back the youngsters all the way. Last season, there was some of the senior players that let us down. And I think they was justified, I think. I don't think I went personal. I went too far. I think I was fair in my criticism last year. And I've said, players like Chambers have impressed me this year. And I'm more than happy to say they look a lot better this year. I'm like doing it. And Willock. Some of these players I was critical of last year. But they've been brilliant this year for us. So I wouldn't criticise them.
Yeah, and I think...
As long as they keep 100% every week, I don't care. But last year, some of them just didn't look like they wanted to be there, did they?
Yeah, no, I agree with you. And even this season, and even like some of the things like we've already discussed from last night, it's not us being negative, but it's just highlighting areas perhaps that we can improve on. And every time you listen to BBM, he's always saying players can get better. Players, Ollie Tanner, he's going to get better. He's going to get better. So they're not resting on any laurels. There's always elements of every single player within the squad improving. And long may it continue. Let's climb. Let's get back to the promised land.
But yeah, like when we do lose a game, right? It's not because of a lack of effort or anything. It's usually we've had 10 chances, just haven't been clinical enough. And last year, you look at games, you're thinking we didn't stick a tackle in. Sheffield Wednesday last year at home, I remember ranting after that. Barry Banner, I said earlier, run 40 yards unchallenged like 4 or 5 times. We just stood off him, allowed him to carry the ball. Last year,
Millwall fans, I bet you Millwall, but he's happy, is he?
Well, I told him last week that he was going there and told him he should have put a bet on. He's landed with the player, the signing of Banner mind. He's ready for promotion, he is. He's ready for, I don't think the FA are going to be ready for it, but he definitely is.
Yes, it'd be interesting to see if they did get promoted, wouldn't it? There'd be plenty of overtime for police officers in the Premiership next season. But
it's disappointing for us, though. There's 6 points guaranteed gone there next year if Millwall go up. So
yeah, but we'll get them back from the Jacks and Wrexham, no doubt. Anyway, so we haven't got to worry about that. But I know it was a question we had asked regarding Barry Bannon, wasn't it, on a short-term deal. I don't know. I think you knew a little bit more about it than me. I don't think we was anywhere near meeting his demands that obviously Millwall did. So, our budget can't be that bloody good, but
to be fair, I think Millwall came in early doors. They were willing to match his I think I put the group chat earlier. They were willing to match his pre-amended contract with bonuses. I think the 4 things for him was the location is London, the chasing promotions, the Premiership, the money was good, and I think that is it 18 months with an option to extend for a further year. I think I'll send you the message in a bit now, but we weren't really close. I think we did speak to him and his representatives. We didn't come close, unfortunately. There was other clubs there. I think they were a bit closer, but there was no real interest. Once Millwall came and offered what they offered, there was only one club he was going to. And last week, I think he said to him that he wanted to go there anyway, and it was all done and dusted, really. I know yesterday he was at the club filming promotional videos and stuff for him. He was. I think they announced it this afternoon. They did then.
Great player, and you can't fault his commitment to Sheffield Wednesday. In fairness, can you?
I mean, he's a team who Peter Whittingham. Let's be honest. I mean, is what I always wanted Joe Rolls to develop into. If I'm honest, though, a left-footed playmaker. He doesn't have to have the legs, but he can spray the ball everywhere. But yeah, he's a stand-up midfielder, my Barry Barnes is. And to be fair to him, 10 years, I think, at Sheffield Wednesday. What a credit, what a servant to a club. Like, I mean, I said a stat earlier, he never won a Steel City derby, which is a crazy thing to me. But again, what a player. And all the best to him, and good luck at Millwall. And my mate will be buzzing for this now, so...
Yeah, we'll see him next year, I expect. They'll fucking bottle it, won't he? But, yeah. Like I said, me and Reece will be back Saturday evening to discuss all things Burton Cardiff. Hopefully, Reece's rants won't return this Saturday, but I'd probably give it the old commentator's curse. So, yeah, if that's the case, Reece might be doing it on his own on Saturday.
No, like I said, because there's so many youngsters, I wonder rant these youngsters, because again, it's not through a lack of effort. If we lose, it's because of a wonder strike, or we've just been very unlucky. It's not a case of players not putting the effort in. So, I put them on hold for the season. We'll see what happens next Tuesday, though.
Happy days. Don't forget, guys, if you can like and subscribe the videos on Cardiff City World. If you're not a member, jump on the bandwagon, get involved. Every member is valued, and we do really appreciate every single one of you. Member shows, the rumour mill, I'm not sure if that's been out this week. I haven't caught up with that myself yet. But yeah, like I said, every single member who tunes in, week out, gets involved in the chat. Even if you're not a member and you're just in the chat, we do appreciate your engagement. It does help us along through the shows. And at the end of the day, we're both passionate Cardiff City fans who enjoy talking about the mighty Bluebirds. And yeah, we are top of the league. So we shall see you on Saturday. Keep your eyes out on the channel for other stuff Simon's got coming up this week. And me and Reese will be back Saturday. No star power.
Top of the league.
This channel is powered by an incredible membership community on Cardiff City World and patreon.com/AcePodcastNation. Becoming a member unlocks exclusive rewards from early access to live event tickets, bonus content, and even the occasional inside transfer scoop when we get it. But more importantly, it allows us to bring you top quality Cardiff City content 7 days a week. Across those 7 days, we're talking match previews, exclusive interviews, instant match reactions, the breakdown podcast, tactical deep dives, the Spotlight series, Bluebirds Rewind, Academy Focus, and just so much more. Led by myself, backed by an army of passionate Cardiff City fans, this is content created by fans for fans. Balanced, professional, and 100% all about the club we all love. If you enjoy what we do, then join the community today and support what we are doing as we help to keep Cardiff City World flying high.